Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Uncle Ziffy. Welcome to episode 11 of the Ziffy Show. Today we are going to be breaking down UFC 300, Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. This is a stat card, so you definitely don't want to miss this episode. I'm going to be going over my picks and plays and just kind of how I see the night playing out. So before we get into that, if you guys could please give the video a like, comment, subscribe. All that really does help me out a lot. I'm going to keep barking up the same old tree here. Basically, I use these videos as a platform for my career and my fights. All the feedback that you guys can leave really does actually help me out a lot. I will always reply to comments. I'll always, if you have a question, always try to answer it. If you DM me on Instagram, I'm always super responsive too. So if you guys have any questions, always hit me up. Feedback, I love to hear your guys' feedback. I appreciate it. Don't forget to give this video a big old fat like. Give me a comment on what you think about my picks in this video. And if you're liking what you're seeing, hit that fucking subscribe button. And so please just don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's dive right on into the video. Alrighty, so we are starting with Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. So these are two former champions. This fight obviously is an absolute banger to start off the night. Crazy, crazy high pace. This is actually Figgy's second fight at bantamweight. He did just beat Rob Font in a pretty close fight. He landed some powerful shots. Rob's obviously a tough motherfucker. But I'm excited to see how this happens. So, to see what happens. In my notes, I have, Figgy being the former flyweight champ. Cody, obviously, being the former bantamweight champ, had that awesome performance against Dom Cruz that, he really did look invincible for 25 minutes. Dom couldn't hit him. Cody's really fast and really powerful. So this is just gonna be a fun fight, dude. I do not see this one going the distance. Cody's chin has been a little bit suspect in recent years. Obviously the Pedro Munoz fight and stuff like that. But he is on a 2-fight winning streak, so we are I don't know. We'll see kind of what happens. I'm leaning more towards Deiveson knocking him out, but I'm going to stay hopeful, and we're going to go with Cody via KO, TKO. So I feel this is just going to be a brawl, and just whoever's chin lasts longer is probably going to be the winner. So that is my pick. A couple interesting facts. I didn't do this for all of them. Kind of took the wind out of the sails last time. Figueiredo is 41%. 41% of his wins are by KO TKO. 79 of Cody's wins are by KO TKO. So I thought that was very interesting. Deiveson is 2-2 and 1 in his last 5. Cody is 3-2 in his last 5. Figgy is the favorite, minus 340, and Cody is plus 270. That means he is the underdog. So odds makers have this pretty stacked against Cody, but I definitely think he can pull it off. We are going to pivot now to, oh my God, this is a crazy fight. All of these, I'm going to say that for every one of these fucking fights. All of these fights are fucking crazy. The UFC has put together quite a stellar card, so I'm just excited to, be able to watch it. We got Jim fucking Miller versus Bobby King Green. This is just an awesome fucking fight. Jim's the most wins in UFC history, the most fights in UFC history. He does it all. This is his 43rd UFC appearance. Like I said, most fights in UFC history, most wins. He has fought at UFC 100, UFC 200, and now UFC 300. Yeah, he's been around for a while. It seems that in the later half of his career, he's actually, picked up some steam and started KOing these young up-and-comers, which at his age is honestly really fucking impressive for how long he's been in the game, how long he's been able to stuck around, and kind of just his longevity as a whole. Jim is a really tough fighter. He has a lot of power, and he's very technical. So it's awesome to see that Jim's doing good in the later half of his career. But now he's running into Bobby Green, who, to be honest, Bobby is I feel like a little bit on the downside of his career. Bobby's obviously a fucking awesome fighter, really, flashy, technical, kind of striking. But definitely in that last fight, that I don't even know what to say. Like, just a fucking horrible stoppage, man. Like that shit. When you see that in the sport, it really does just kind of make you sick, like thinking about it. But let's hope Bobby recovered well from it. He is 37 years of age, so That knockout could have played a factor in his chin detriment, but we really won't know until he steps in there and takes a couple shots. He's got 48 pro fights, so he has definitely been around the block. And he's just a well-rounded fighter. Got good takedown defense. I think he probably has a little bit better striking than Jim Miller. So we'll kind of see how this one plays out. I do anticipate this one kind of playing out on the feet. So if we go to the kind of stats that I pulled out, only two. Significant strikes landed per minute. Jim is at 2.96. Bobby is at a whopping 6.14. So quite a big discrepancy there. And then if we go to wins by submission, Jim has 54%, whereas Bobby has 29%. So Jim can definitely do some damage on the ground if he can get Bobby on the ground. But Bobby's got really, really good takedown defense, and he also has pretty good defensive grappling as well. So my pick, probably no surprise, it's going to be Jim Miller by KO, TKO, or decision. I just see him kind of getting it done. He's been fighting these young up and comers and doing very, very good against them. Bobby has kind of fallen off the horse a little bit. Not to say that I don't like Bobby, because I think Bobby's one of the most exciting fighters in that division. Just I feel like he's getting a little older, and Jim's looked great as of recent. So I'm gonna go with him. And that is my pick. The odds for that fight, my apologies. So the money line actually has Bobby Green as minus 205 as the favorite, and the plus 170 goes to Jim Miller. So people think that Bobby Green is going to win, which hey, definitely I can see happening, but I just got to root for my boy Jim Miller. So I didn't do every fight on this card too. I should probably preface that. I picked out the ones that I thought were most enticing, the most appealing fights from this card. Not to say that the ones that I didn't pick aren't enticing. It's just these are the ones that I am, really excited for, and that I felt needed to go a little bit deeper on. So I picked them. The most recent fight that has just been added is Jalen Turner versus Money Moicano. So Renato Moicano is kind of stepping up in competition against Jalen Turner, who did just knock out Bobby Green. This fight keeps coming back. Really, really bad from a really, really horrible decision to stop the fight very late. But we'll look past that. He's long. He's really tall. He's a great striker. He's really, really aggressive and really dangerous on the feet. Jalen is. And Renato's also, pretty good on the ground. Just beat Drew Dober. Was kind of getting bullied a little bit on the back and figured out a way to rally. So I thought that was a good fight for Renato. He does obviously want that Paddy Pimblett fight. That would be a giant fight that I'm surprised they honestly didn't make for this for UFC 300, but maybe just scheduling issues and stuff like that. So Jalen, I feel like he's probably a better, well-rounded fighter. Let me see if I scroll up. I didn't really pick anything out too crazy from this fight. Jalen's ranked number 10, and Renato is number 13 in the world. So pretty close. It's just Jalen's just so big, dude. For 155, you're 6'3", and you got the good striking like he has. He has almost an 80-inch reach. I mean, he's just such a big dude for that division. And I'm gonna say it's gonna be hard for Renato to get in, and I mean, dude, his arms are just so long. So that is my pick for that fight. My pick for that fight, I'm going to go with the obvious Jalen Turner by KO or submission. Probably leaning more towards KO. Renato's a tough motherfucker. He has Money Moicano, so he had some really good mic skills as of his last couple fights. So if he wins, I anticipate him to keep on going, but I just think that Jalen might be a little bit too much for him this time around. So I got Jalen Turner. And then the odds for that one, the betting odds, there's no money line, so I guess that's it. There's no money line. I don't know why they don't put this on. I would go on DraftKings and look at like the bets and shit like that, but my phone is what I'm using to record, so can't really do that. So alrighty, so we'll just pivot. We'll go to the next fight. This one's kind of like a rematch, or not even like a rematch, but kind of like a replay of a fight that was very famous, very, very notable. Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. Harrison obviously being the judo player. So she's basically kind of like Ronda in the sense that she's an Olympic judoka. She's very good at grappling, and she's fucking huge for this division. I was actually watching the Weasels UFC 300 breakdown where I got a lot of this information. So if you don't watch him, definitely go take a look at his picks. But Kayla is massive. Like, there's no way that she's going to realistically make 135 without being compromised in some sort of way. So she used to fight at 55. She has fought at 45 a couple times, mainly fights at 55. And going from 55, like fighting at 55 to fighting at 35 is like a whole different fucking like genre, right? So Kayla walks around probably 160, maybe 165. That is huge to cut down all the way to 135. I don't know how she's gonna do it. She might have her own nutritionist. She might be doing the Alex Pereira double weight cut thing. Who knows? I'm just saying that's a lot of weight to cut, and she's never fought at 135 before, so she might come in there compromised, and we're just gonna have to see. But she should be looking better than Holly. Holly is 42 years old. Very technical, always going to be very technical with her elbows and her clinch game. But as of late, that's kind of what she's been relying on is her clinch game, holding you against the fence, landing elbows, knees, and stuff like that. Whereas when she fought Ronda, she avoided the clinch. She, kind of went with a more traditional technical kickboxing approach because she knew Ronda was so strong, and that was like her thing was the clinch. So I would assume that she would try to adopt that same style against Kayla. I personally think that Kayla is a little bit better of a judoka grappler in a sense than Ronda is. You can fucking kill me if you want. She's just bigger, dude. Like she's massive. So she's really strong. My pick is obviously going to be Kayla via submission. If she gets Holly down, it's really just going to kind of be wraps from there. But Holly does have some ways to win. She just has to kind of keep it standing using her technical kind of abilities, and she can put Kayla away. She just has to stay patient, and let's just hope that the age isn't too much of a discrepancy. Kayla is 33, Holly's 42, so there's almost a 10-year difference between them. So I don't know. I'm going with Kayla. That's what my heart's saying. And again, for this fight, for whatever fucking reason, there is no money line. So we will just go right to the next fight. This one, awesome fight. Let me tell you, as much as I want to bash and hate on Aljo, he's a great fighter. He was a great champion at 135. And he's a cool guy. So, I'm a big Sugar Sean fan. Obviously, I'm going to bring this up just because I've met him in person. Sean's an awesome dude. But I don't know. I don't know if I personally agree with the way that Aljamain went about, taking that loss. But everybody's going to take a loss differently, so you can't really knock him on it. Aljo is moving up to 145. So this will be his debut at that weight class. He is going against Calvin, who, to be honest, is a pretty big 145er. He's 5'11", just like Sean is. So he's going to be, a little bit longer than Aljo. He's a little bit thicker than Sean. Calvin's a little more muscular. Calvin's really good boxing, really good, technical inside the clinch, good elbows. I mean, this is definitely not an easy fight for Aljamain by any means. So I feel like if Aljo really wants to capitalize in this fight and kind of, boost himself into that top 10, top 5, he's going to have to put on, a really, really, really good performance. So Aljo, obviously the former champ at bantamweight. This is his first fight at 45. He definitely needs to get Calvin down and needs to impose his game. If he kind of plays this fight like how he fought Sean, kind of always kind of playing off the back foot, it's not going to be good. He needs to put a lot of pressure on Calvin, get him against the fence, and start imposing his takedown game. If he can, get on Calvin's back and backpack him like he did Jan, I could definitely see Aljamain winning this round or winning this fight. But Calvin's got a lot of tools. He's crafty. He's kind of been that kind of title shot gatekeeper at 145. So basically, if you fight him, you're basically automatically getting a title shot. He's kind of been that guy. He's tough as fucking nails. That Max Holloway fight was just, that was a fucking awesome display of toughness. He did not quit on himself, so you can never count him out. Will say he might have a little bit of ring rust. He's been around, or he's been out for about a year, so we'll kind of see how that plays in to this fight here with Aljo. But I don't know, man. This is, again, these fights are so evenly matched. These are again, a former champ versus, a title shot kind of gatekeeper at that division. So we'll see what Aljo can do. But my heart and brain is telling me Aljo via decision, kind of sub. If he can, I think he's going to take a lot from that Sean loss and, kind of definitely change up some things in his game, which I definitely see him, kind of pressuring and putting it on Calvin. So I got him via decision or submission. Going to be a great fucking fight there. Let's see if they got the odds for this one. Oh, they do. All right, so pretty evenly matched. This one is almost a pick'em. Aljo -108, Calvin at -112. So basically a pick'em fight. This is the last fight on the prelims that I'm going to go over. Okay, so we got good old Jiri Prochazka versus Alexander Rykic. I definitely think this should have been the opening fight on the main card, but Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage is. I'm not gonna hate. I just definitely think that Jiri's got a little bit more star power than Cody Brundage, but it's not my organization. I can't really call the shots. So I'm just gonna give my opinion out there. Prochazka, obviously being the former light heavyweight champ, just lost in a pretty decent showing against Alex Pereira. He landed some good unorthodox strike. That's kind of his main thing, is being so fucking weird and unreadable that it kind of surprises his opponents. It's almost kind of like the Sean Strickland thing, where he just, like, his defense is so good that it kind of like throws you off, and he's throwing these punches from all these weird angles that you're not really used to, so he kind of catches you off guard in that sense. So yeah, just a really chaotic fighting style. Does kind of leave his chin hanging in the air, so Alexander is more of a kick-heavy kind of style, kind of more Taekwondo kick-heavy base. So he's going to attack the legs, attack the body. I definitely can see him cracking Jiri if Jiri doesn't fucking block these kicks. So that would be something for Rykic to kind of capitalize on. Very strong kicks. Alex kind of has to control when he fights. He has to kind of lead the dance, or he has to kind of lead the grappling to win on the scorecard. So control is definitely going to be a big thing for him. But he's also coming off a layoff, so we're gonna see how he looks after nearly, I think it is 2-year layoff. So yeah, just ring rust could obviously be a factor. We will kind of see. Jiri has been more, active. He also did just come off of a injury, but he didn't look too compromised in that Alex fight. He just kind of made some less than favorable decisions. So we will kind of see. This is number 2 versus number 5 in the light heavyweight division. And holy shit, dude! I'm sorry. I read the odds for this next fight, but Jiri is +110. So he's actually the underdog, which I think is wild. And Rykic is -130. So I have Jiri via KO or submission. I just feel like he's probably a little bit better than Rykic everywhere this fight kind of goes. So that is my pick, but the odds definitely say differently. So I think that is mighty interesting. We're going to move on to the next fight. This fight is, I don't really even have to say anything. I literally, in my notes, it says Bo Nickel, Cody Brundage, and then it says bruh, period, and then it says Bo via stoppage. Like, I'm not, you can't make that shit up. Yeah, Cody's good. He's a good fighter. Bo's better. Bo's going to make this look way too easy, so that's probably why this is the opening bout. So Bo's going to run through him. So this is a good fight. So this next fight, okay, for Bo, okay. I guess I should give you guys the odds. Bo's -1350. He's -1350. Cody's +800. So I guess that kind of really tells you all you need to know about that fight. It's not gonna be much of a fight. So that is the odds on there. This is such an interesting fight. I am so excited. This is the featured bout of the night for UFC 300. So this is going to be Charlie Olives versus Arman Tsarukyan. Just a cracker of a fight. Number 1 against number 4. Arman has, really been on quite the run. Charles is, still making his claim as, one of the best, if not the best in that division at lightweight. So what I have down is obviously Charles being the former lightweight champ, had great showings against Justin Gaethje, had great showings against Dustin Poirier. I mean, that period of those 3 title fights when he fought back to back, I mean, it was definitely awesome. I feel very blessed to get to have say that I saw him fight Justin Gaethje. So I will always kind of hold that in my heart. I'm a big Charles fan. So you guys probably know where my pick is going, but Arman's really good too. You cannot count out Arman. Had a very, very competitive fight with Islam Makhachev, who is the champion now. Very, very technical grappler, very, very high level wrestler. Very good at chain wrestling. He's kind of good everywhere. He's got good striking, good knockout power. He just knocked out Beneil. So this is going to be a good fight. What I have is basically the winner. This is a number 1 contender fight. So whoever wins this is probably going to fight Islam for the belt. Arman definitely needs to avoid the ground in this. Charles is very, very crafty off of his back. Arman has good, awareness and grappling awareness, but Charles is tricky. He's very, very good on the ground. So I would probably think that Arman would want to keep this standing. Charles is a little bit more simple, I guess, in his striking approach. He's a sniper, don't get me wrong. He's got crazy fucking power, but he doesn't move his head a lot. He does get tagged. Dustin hurt him. Basically everybody's hurt him in these title fights, and he kind of comes back. So I definitely can see Arman wanting to kind of keep the fight standing and striking with him, but Charles is explosive. He's one of the most lethal fighters in the UFC right now. So this is just going to be interesting. I think Arman also, his defense is a little lackluster in striking. His striking, I mean, he kind of just uses the space to get out of exchanges or different, unfavorable positions. So I definitely think his offense is a lot better than his defense. So we're going to have to see what happens when Charles puts him on the back foot, kind of gets him up to the cage. This is going to be a cracker of a fight. The odds have this one. Charles, this is also interesting. Charles has a plus 170. He's the underdog. Arman is going to be minus 205. He's going to be the favorite. So people think that Arman's going to do it. I personally think that Charles is going to win via KO or submission. He's going to remind the world the champion has a name, and it is Du Bronx. Yeah, big Charles fan. Not to say that Arman isn't great, but I love Charles. So for that one too, for that fight, have a couple questions in from one of you guys, one of you awesome viewers about this fight. So these are fan questions. So this is, I'm just going to pivot just because there's only 2 and it's for this fight. So this one is from Jack Callahan, one of my good friends. So thank you, buddy, for the question. What round do you see Charles versus Arman going to or being stopped in? So personally, with my pick that I just gave, I can see this fight getting out of the first round. I think Arman's definitely going to have some damage or damage taken in that round. He's probably going to try and rally back and either shoot for a takedown or go for some big moment in that second round. I think that probably will be where Charles will capitalize and kind of end it. So my pick, I think that fight probably doesn't get out of the second round. So that would be when I think the fight would end. And again, from Big JC, Jack Callahan, he said, would you have liked to see Khamzat versus Leon if they could have made it happen for 300? Obviously, notably, what he is talking about is Leon basically accepting 3 different opponents. He accepted, apparently it was Khamzat and 2 other title contenders in that weight class. I honestly, I don't know. I just know that Khamzat was one of them. I think that would have been a good main event. Honestly, personally, on this card, I definitely think that Gaethje and Holloway should be higher up on the card, but that is just for the BMF belt, so it's kind of hard to say. That's definitely the fight that everybody's looking forward to. not to say that Alex versus Jamal isn't a great main event. I feel like we should have gotten something with a little bit more star power, but Alex is a big star. Jamal is obviously a big name in the UFC too, so I'm happy with it. But I think Leon versus Hamzat probably would have been maybe a better main event, co-main event for this event. So yeah, there's my answer for that one. Thank you, Jack Callahan. If you guys want to leave me questions, leave them in the comments. I'll kind of pick out a few. If there's none, I'll just kind of pick out the ones that you guys give, and I'll answer them on the show. So appreciate you, Jack. Thank you for giving me that. And let's move on to the co-main event. This one, again, this is kind of funny. Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan. Again, I just have bruh and then Weili by destruction. So I don't really see any way that Yan can win this fight. Weili's too good in striking. She's got crazy strength. She's very big for this division too. I think that's something that a lot of people overlook. She's very strong and big for this division. So I see her retaining her belt via destruction. She kind of can do whatever she wants in this fight, and I feel like she's probably going to be better. So that's my pick. We're moving on to the main event. This is the one that everybody's been talking about. I wanted to get that one out of the way. We got Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, real people's main event right here. So yeah, this is interesting. This is obviously for the BMF belt. Max's second attempt at going up to 155. So I'm obviously excited to see this. I love Max. I love Justin. They seem to have a lot of good sportsmanship and good respect about each other too. But they are going to try and kill each other. So Max is looks like in his most recent post he's actually going up and bulking up to 155 correctly. He looks a lot bigger, looks a lot more filled out for that division. So that is something I am happy to see. That basically means that Max is going to be able to take a stronger punch. Vice versa, he's going to be able to deliver a stronger punch, and he's going against the man who has arguably the strongest punch and strongest kicks in that division. So yeah, kind of my kind of thoughts. Obviously, Justin just knocked out Dustin. Say that fucking 5 times fast. Justin just knocked out Dustin for the BMF belt in his last fight. So that's obviously a great win for Justin, getting that one back. Obviously, Dustin knocked him out. He's got just devastating power in his hands, devastating low kicks. Even Khabib will tell you, he's a fucking Mack truck of a striker. So Max really does have to avoid those low kicks. He did pretty good against Volk. Volk was very leg kick heavy in his approach to fighting Max. So I definitely think Max has to avoid those kicks. Does look better though. Looks bigger. So should be able to take a little bit more of a smack, and vice versa. Also be able to give a little bit more. So Max is this is kind of the traditional power puncher versus volume puncher. So we'll see. I have it split 50-50. I really don't know. Personally, I think the Gaethje's going to win by decision. I don't think he'll be able to finish Max. Max is just too fucking tough. Nobody's ever finished Max in the UFC or really gotten him dropped. So I think Gaethje could definitely drop him. Not to say that he can't finish Max, but because he would be the only person really that could. But I just think Max is been around for too long. He's got really good awareness. So yeah, I think Justin's gonna win, but Max is gonna put on one hell of a fight. So they're gonna beat the shit out of each other. Gaethje by decision, and the odds on that one have Gaethje as the favorite -238 and Max as the underdog +195. So do with that what you will. And now we're on to the real main event. We got Alex Poatan Pereira versus Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. So this one's very interesting, very interesting. So Jamal, obviously, he has that layoff from that Achilles injury. He tore his Achilles, so he's been out, vacated the belt. So had a great showing against Glover. Really did. That was a great showing. Not to mention that Glover was 42, 43. So he was getting a lot older, but you can't take away from what Glover did at the end of his career. Jamal, did take him out. after he had been, kind of steamrolling everybody. So Jamal looked really good. He is a big boy, so he needs to wrestle. I do not think this would be a competitive fight if Jamal decides to go out there and play kickboxing with Alex Pereira. He is a 2-time Glory kickboxing champion. He is now the 2-time UFC champion. So I definitely think it would be unwise for him to try and stand in front of Alex and trade punches with him. Not to say that he can't hit and strike very good, but Alex is a different level. Alex has different setups, attacks, kind of everything. I definitely think he needs to put the pressure on Alex, smother him, get him in the clinch, land that kind of dirty boxing that he did against Glover, and utilize his wrestling, because he's bigger. We've been seeing big tummy Jamal. So if he was smart, he definitely needs to use that to kind of wear on Alex. Now we go to Pereira. He's been active. Obviously, Jamal has had that layoff, so he hasn't been in competition for a while. So Alex has been pretty active. Currently, he's going for wants to be the first triple weight UFC champion. He wants to also headline this card and then make a 21-day turnaround and fight in the main event of UFC Brazil against Magomed Ankalaev, which I think is fucking insane. The balls on this man are pretty big. So if he can do that, there's very, very good argument to say that he could be one of the greatest in the sport of all time. So that would be insane if they let him do it. So he could be a 3-weight champ as well. If he goes up, does that turnaround, fights Ankalaev, and starts kind of cleaning out the light heavyweight division, moves up. I can see him fighting Jones, fighting Aspinall, and giving them a run for their money. So it's just interesting. He's a very, very special fighter. He's fought. This will be his 5th former champion or champion that he's fought in the UFC. So he's just, in his short time being around, he has really done a lot. So big ups for Poatan. The last thing is kind of just seeing how the ring rust will affect Jamal. He's been off for a considerable amount of time, so we'll have to see kind of how he looks and how he gets back. But my pick, I will actually give you the odds first. So Alex is -155. He's going to be the favorite, and Jamal is +130. So he is the underdog. My pick is going to be Alex Poatan Pereira by KO or TKO. Shama. Yeah, those are my picks, ladies and gentlemen. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. I did put a little bit more into this one than I did the last one, so definitely give me your feedback on if you like this one a little bit more. I'm going to start kind of including some fan questions, so like I said, be sure to leave your comments and stuff like that. I do always read them. It makes my day better, so I appreciate you guys. Definitely go check out my last video. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, means a lot to me. You guys all, everybody who watches means a lot to me. So thank you guys for your support. Love you all and hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Deuces, everybody.